Did you know there's a community right in the heart of America, often called rejecting the modern world? The Amish live simple, shunning modern conveniences. But beneath this modest exterior lie secrets that will leave you astonished. A courtship tradition where couples share a bed but aren't allowed any physical contact. And in a society where homosexuality is considered inappropriate, what unfolds their love life? But what truly happens behind the closed doors of their bedrooms might leave you speechless. Get ready to uncover the shocking secrets of the hidden, intimate lives the Amish have kept under wraps until now. The Amish community is one of the most isolated societies in the modern world, choosing to disconnect from much of contemporary life. They avoid using cars, televisions, and most modern technology, living in a way that aligns with their religious beliefs. In their view, individual identity is secondary to the community's well-being. In Amish culture, family and relationships are shaped by a strict interpretation of the Bible, with homosexuality is considered inappropriate. Church leaders claim such feelings are rare within their community, but it's difficult to believe they are completely absent. For an Amish person questioning their love life, expressing these feelings is almost impossible. Deeply held beliefs that view such tendencies as undesirable create an environment where few feel safe expressing them. Young people exploring their identity, acknowledging their feelings, can mean losing everything: their family, their community. The problem isn't that gay Amish people don't exist, but that the culture offers little understanding or acceptance. Homosexuality is seen not as an identity, but as a flaw that needs correction. As a result, many Amish individuals hide their true selves or leave the community entirely. For those who stay, counseling is available, but it's aimed at helping them conform to the church's teachings, not at fostering acceptance of their identity. The Amish believe gay individuals deserve love. Their religious views make it difficult to reconcile this with their beliefs. In the Amish community, relationships follow traditional values, with premarital relationships generally discouraged, though they still happen. When these relationships lead to pregnancy, couples are often urged to marry quickly, sometimes outside the typical wedding season, to avoid public embarrassment and protect family honor. These quick weddings allow couples to start their lives together discreetly, without drawing attention to the community. Unlike mainstream American society, where marriage trends are shifting later, most Amish marry in their early 20s, partly due to a religious requirement that individuals must be baptized into the Amish church before marrying. This baptism signifies a commitment to both their faith and spouse. Research from the Young Center for Anabaptist and Pietist Studies found that over 80% of Amish adults marry by age 22-3, with marriage seen as an essential part of their spiritual and social life. Extensive research suggests that marriage is a key part of building long-term community and financial security. Marriage in the Amish community is not only a personal commitment, but a spiritual one, with a strong emphasis on family and lifelong bonds. The Amish also practice strict monogamy, with divorce and remarriage being rare, reflecting the community's core values. As premarital relationships are limited, Amish youth learn about relationships and reproduction mainly through family and community guidance, with a focus on tradition and modesty. Do you wonder how they have been exposed to learning about relationships and reproduction? Before we dive deeper into how the Amish handle these topics in their daily lives, I have a quick request for you. If you're enjoying this journey into the Amish world, just take 10 seconds to hit the notification bell and subscribe. It helps this channel a lot, and if you do, I'll do everything I can to make this show even better for you. So, we have a deal where life is centered on simplicity, modesty, and tradition, particularly romantically active, are often left unspoken. Unlike mainstream education systems, where sex education is a regular part of the school curriculum, Amish schools completely avoid this subject. This silence around sex education isn't just a matter of school policy, it's deeply tied to the broader cultural values of the Amish way of life. In the absence of formal instruction, Amish children and adolescents typically learn about reproduction in informal ways. Many satisfy their curiosity by observing the behavior of farm animals, or they talk to friends and overhear adult conversations. As a result, Amish youth grow up with a somewhat fragmented and gradual understanding of reproduction. This piecemeal approach to learning contrasts sharply with the more structured, fact-based education that young people receive in non-Amish communities. This lack of formal sex education raises significant questions. How do young Amish adults enter marriage and family life without the knowledge typically gained from structured sex education? Dr. Donald Craybill from the Young Center for Anabaptist and Pietist Studies suggests that this knowledge gap can sometimes create challenges for young Amish couples as they step into marriage. Without a clear understanding of topics like reproduction, consent, and bodily autonomy, some Amish women may feel unprepared for the realities of marriage and family life. Webster. Sometimes we feel unable to communicate. Imagine stepping out of a world where horse-drawn buggies replace cars, technology is nearly non-existent, and of life revolves around faith, family, and tradition. For young Amish men and women, this is not just a fantasy, it's Rumspringa, a transformative rite of passage that offers a rare glimpse into the outside world. Rumspringa, often romanticized as a time of freedom, is more than just an escape from the restrictions of Amish life. It's an intense, personal journey where young Amish adults are given the chance to explore what life might be like beyond their community. They might experiment with modern fashion, embrace social media, or even try things like parties, alcohol, or dating. Though Rumspringa offers these young people the chance to test their boundaries, there's an underlying expectation that they will eventually return to the Amish fold. Yet for some, this period of exploration leads to tough questions about their identity, their beliefs, and where they truly belong. Surprisingly, studies on Amish retention rates show that the majority of young people who undergo Rumspringa, up to 90%, choose to return to their community. This statistic speaks to the deep bonds of family and faith that hold the Amish community together, even in the face of a world that offers greater freedoms and opportunities. So, what would you do if you were given the chance to experience life outside everything you've ever known? Would you explore the modern world and all its possibilities? Or would you choose to stay committed to your roots and traditions? Let us know in the comments, what would your Rumspringa look like? In most cultures, courting involves dates, shared experiences, and meaningful conversations. However, in Amish culture, a unique tradition known as bundling offers a different approach to getting to know a potential partner. Bundling is an age-old practice where a courting couple spends the night together, fully clothed, in the same bed, but with strict rules. While they may lie next to each other, physical contact is completely forbidden. Bundling serves as a premarital ritual that allows young men and women to form a deep emotional connection without the distractions or pressures of physical intimacy. By creating an environment where companionship and conversation take center stage, Amish culture offers a pathway for young couples to explore their compatibility in a way that aligns with their values of modesty and restraint. The practice of bundling typically involves the couple lying in the same bed, but with a physical barrier, such as a board placed between them, to prevent accidental contact. In some cases, the couple might even be bundled in sacks to ensure they remain separated. Alternatively, two separate beds might be pushed together, allowing for close proximity without breaking the rule of physical separation. The goal is to maintain emotional closeness without any temptation toward physical intimacy. In Amish courtship, emotional connection is valued above physical attraction, emphasizing the community's strong beliefs in modesty and self-control. In a culture where arranged marriages are common and formal sex education is minimal, bundling provides a socially acceptable way for young couples to spend time together in a controlled setting before committing to a lifelong partnership. Historically, bundling was not exclusive to the Amish. It was once practiced in various societies across Europe and early America. However, as societal norms evolved, bundling largely faded from mainstream culture, though it has remained a part of Amish tradition. In some more modern Amish communities, bundling has been replaced with other forms of supervised courtship, such as chaperoned dating. Yet, the practice still endures in many Amish communities, offering a fascinating glimpse into how the Amish prioritize emotional connection over physical closeness in romantic relationships. Given that Amish culture is deeply rooted in simplicity and separation from modern society, one might wonder, how do they approach family planning? For the Amish, life is deeply rooted in faith, tradition, and a belief in the natural order of things. This perspective extends to nearly every aspect of their lives, including family planning. Many Amish families have adhered to the principle of leaving it in God's hands. But, like any culture, the Amish experience evolves over time, and recent insights suggest that there are subtle, yet significant shifts occurring in their approach to contraception. Traditionally, Amish families were large, with 6 to 10 children being common. This emphasis on large families stems from the belief that procreation is a natural part of God's plan, and that a large family reflects the blessing of the Creator. But in recent years, there has been a slight decline in the average size of Amish families. Researchers, including Dr. Donald Crable, note that some Amish couples are beginning to consider family planning options, suggesting a gradual shift in their beliefs. While the use of contraception remains rare in Amish communities, there are signs of subtle changes. For example, some Amish couples are consulting healthcare providers about birth control options. This might include natural family planning methods, which allow couples to control family size without using artificial contraception, aligning with their values of simplicity and respect for nature. For older women, sterilization has also become more accepted, especially for those facing difficulties with additional pregnancies. Amish individuals, particularly those in rural areas, sometimes visit doctors who may recommend family planning for health reasons. Although the use of contraception remains uncommon, these small changes suggest that some Amish are moving toward a more flexible approach to family size, especially when it comes to personal health. Dr. Crable suggests that this trend of using natural or minimal methods of contraception reflects a slow, modernizing shift in Amish society. Rather than seeing family size as an unchangeable aspect of divine will, some Amish couples are beginning to view it as a conscious choice. This evolving approach to family planning provides an interesting glimpse into how Amish culture is gradually adapting to modern health concerns, which is what's most relevant for us to consider when it comes to genetics and health concerns, without fully abandoning its core values. The Amish are known for their tightly knit insular communities, where traditional ways of life are preserved and passed down through generations. However, it also brings certain challenges, one of the most sensitive being the limited genetic diversity within the community, which can lead to concerns about inbreeding. Due to the small size of the Amish population and the fact that few outsiders join their communities, it is not uncommon for married couples to be distantly related, sometimes even as second cousins. As of 2024, the Amish population in North America is estimated at around 375,000, and much of this growth comes from internal marriages rather than outside conversions or marriages to non-Amish individuals. Over time, this leads to what scientists call the founder effect, where a small initial population grows through genetic material. As a result, certain genetic conditions become more prevalent among the Amish than in the general population. For example, disorders like Ellis-Van Creveld syndrome, a rare form of dwarfism, and other recessive genetic conditions are more commonly found within Amish communities. Amish communities are aware of the potential risks that come with marrying within the same genetic pool. In response, some families, particularly in smaller settlements, encourage young people to seek spouses from neighboring Amish communities. Larger Amish communities, such as those in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Holmes County, Ohio, tend to have a wider pool of potential partners, reducing the genetic risks compared to smaller, more isolated communities. While the Amish do not have a formal policy regarding genetic counseling or medical testing, some communities are slowly becoming more open to these practices. In certain cases, Amish families will consult healthcare providers who specialize in genetic disorders common within their community. The issue of inbreeding also sheds light on the complex social dynamics within Amish communities. The Amish place great emphasis on tradition, family, and community ties, so marrying outside the group is relatively rare. However, in smaller communities, where marriage prospects are limited, younger generations often face the challenge of finding a partner who is not closely related. To address this, some Amish youth are encouraged to travel to other settlements or attend larger gatherings where they can meet potential partners from different communities. Over the years, researchers have studied genetic conditions among the Amish to understand how isolated gene pools impact health. These studies have led to advancements in the broader medical community's understanding of genetic disorders. Medical professionals working with Amish families have developed strategies that respect their cultural values while helping them manage the health challenges posed by limited genetic diversity. In the Amish community, the absence of formal sexual education in the deeply rooted tradition of patriarchal authority creates a system where gender roles are rigidly defined, particularly for women. At the heart of Amish family structures lies a patriarchal system where men are seen as the primary authority figures in both the home and the community. This male-dominated structure shapes marriage, relationships, and the expectations around love life and consent, often leaving women in a vulnerable position. From a young age, Amish girls are taught values of obedience, modesty, and submission. These principles are reinforced throughout their upbringing with a focus on preparing them for their future roles as wives and mothers. In marriage, many Amish women face the expectation of fulfilling their husband's needs, which is viewed as their marital duty. As a result, many Amish women may struggle to assert boundaries regarding intimacy or express their personal needs, as such conversations are rarely encouraged. The lack of sexual education in Amish schools means that many women enter marriage without a full understanding of their bodies, reproductive health, or the dynamics of mutual consent. This gap in knowledge can lead to confusion and difficulty navigating marital expectations. For men, too, the cultural silence around these topics fosters an environment where traditional expectations go unchallenged, reinforcing the belief that romantically active people are within marriage, operate solely within the husband's terms. One of the most powerful systems of pressure is that Christians are permitted to go freely away from conventional family social norms. For young Amish women, the pressure to conform to these expectations is particularly strong. They may feel that their value within the family and community is tied to their ability to adhere to the traditional roles of wife and mother. Those who attempt to speak out or challenge these roles often face stigma. However, some former Amish women have bravely shared their experiences, shedding light on the restrictive nature of traditional Amish marriage expectations. These women have raised awareness about the lack of autonomy and the need for greater recognition of consent within the Amish context. As more individuals leave the Amish community, their stories are helping to reveal the deep-rooted patterns within this insular society. These testimonies have sparked calls for greater support and reform, especially for those who face difficulties in their marriages. In response, organizations and support networks are emerging to provide resources, counseling, and a platform for Amish individuals, particularly women. Despite the ongoing strength of the patriarchal structure within the Amish community, there is hope that increased awareness and dialogue will lead to gradual changes. Conversations around autonomy, consent, and personal boundaries are beginning to make their way into Amish communities, signaling a slow but important shift toward recognizing the importance of respect and equality in marriage. While the path forward remains difficult and complex, the brave voices of those who have left the community are helping to lay the foundation for a more balanced perspective on gender roles and relationships. Leaving the Amish community is a life-altering decision with deep emotional, social, and cultural consequences. For those who choose to step away from this tightly knit world, it's more than just a physical move. It's a profound shift in identity and lifestyle. The Amish way of life is deeply rooted in tradition, faith, and family. To leave means to separate from these core values and relationships, a decision that is often driven by a desire for personal freedom. For Amish individuals who choose to explore life outside the community, the traditional practice of meidung, or shunning, may lead to a form of disconnection from their community. For the individual, it can mean being cut off from family gatherings, church services, and important community events. Even day-to-day interactions with family members may be limited, such as separating from their family, saturation of government-to-work restrictions, and moderate cell phone use, as well as many more day-to-day interactions with social media. The emotional cost of leaving is not to be underestimated. For many ex-Amish, the decision to leave their community can result in feelings of profound loss. The close bonds with family and friends, the shared traditions, and the sense of belonging to a larger cultural identity are all difficult to leave behind. The weight of missing out on family connections, social support, and the familiarity of Amish life can draw people back, even when they are seeking greater freedom or new experiences. Leaving the Amish community can present significant practical challenges. Amish individuals, especially those raised in the community's insular environment, may find themselves starting over in the modern world. They often lack formal education or job skills that are needed in the broader society. For those used to a life of farming, craftsmanship, or other traditional roles, the transition to a more technologically advanced and fast-paced society can be overwhelming. In many cases, they must quickly learn new skills, navigate unfamiliar systems, and adapt to a lifestyle that is vastly different from the one they were raised in. Leaving the Amish is not just about seeking freedom or a different lifestyle. It is often about the search for identity, self-expression, and the chance to make personal choices outside the constraints of tradition. Relationships with people outside the community can add another layer of complexity to the decision. For some, falling in love with someone from a different background is a catalyst for making the difficult choice to leave. However, this decision can carry additional emotional weight, as it may lead to a permanent break from family and everything that represents their Amish identity. Organizations like Mission to Amish People offer support to former Amish, helping them navigate the world outside the community by providing resources, housing, and basic education. Some turn to online platforms, sharing their stories with a global audience in hopes of leaving awareness about the costs of leaving. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.